Hey YouTubers, Dan87951 here. I'm going to show you what it takes to winterize a 944 turbo, or what I go through in order to winterize my cars. First step I like to do is wash it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the car washed. Okay, car's all washed. Next step is to dry it. You want to make sure you get in every single nook and cranny, because you don't want water to sit for long periods of time, as the car is going to be in storage. So I'm going to go ahead and dry it now. Okay, let me show you some areas where you want to make sure it's dry. Underneath these doors, water collects. All in here, water collects. So you want to make sure you get these all good and dry. You dry underneath the hatch. You can see a bunch of water collects all back in here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this dry. And make sure you dry under the hood. Water collects all up around here. Got leaves, make sure you clean all that out. See the water pooling? Take a bunch of cloth towels, soak all that out. Make sure your battery box is all dry. Make sure you get the under. Fortunately, my car had to sit outside for a while until they got the new garage doors installed. They made an error and they had to reorder the garage doors, so I didn't have a working garage for about a month. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this dry. After the car's washed and dried, next step is to wax it. So I've already started on the front here. I like to use one rag to just kind of go over and get all the chalky stuff off, and then go over it with the second rag to buff it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this wiped off and actually get the whole car done. Okay, the 80s Road Blaster is officially waxed. She's looking nice and clean. Sucks that I have to put her away. I guess that's the downfall of living in Michigan. So the next step is to get the interior all cleaned up. As you can see, the floor mats are pretty nasty. Been driving it every day this week to work. So I'm gonna go ahead and get her all cleaned up inside. Okay, I got done vacuuming out the car. It's all nice and clean. I like to store my mats, my floor mats, in the back trunk area to help prevent the mats. Well, it'll help them kind of level back out again. As you can see, they've got some, I guess the best term to use is memory. See how they've got some creases here, especially a crease in the center right here. So I store them in the back, and usually when I get it out for spring, theirs are all nice and flat again, and they don't have any creases in them. Okay, the next thing to do is inflate the tires to the max pressure that is allowed on the tire. So in order to find that out, you can look right on the tire. Right here, mine says 40 psi. What I'm trying to do is minimize flat spotting. Right now we're at 23. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this for all 4 tires, pump them up to 40 psi. I don't think you want to sit here and watch me do it, so it's pretty self-explanatory. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this finished up. When storing any car, you want to make sure you add some type of fuel stabilizer to the gas tank. This will keep the fuel fresh, since a lot of our gasolines that we buy today contain ethanol in them. They just don't have the longevity that straight gasoline has, so it's definitely wise that you add some of this stable if you know your car is going to be sitting for at least a month or longer. It's got directions on the back. It will tell you, you know, what the mixing ratio is per how many gallons. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Just make sure when you add it that you run the car for about 10 to 15 minutes so it cycles through the whole fuel system. But it's as simple as that. Just kind of mix it, pour it in your tank, and you're good to go. Okay, the next step is to remove the battery. It's a 13 millimeter and a 13 millimeter. Always start with the negative cable first and then move to the positive cable. Reason for that is that positive cable is so close to the body, you can easily short it out if your tool gets, you know, if it hits that just for a second. Once those are loose, the next thing is there's a 17 millimeter. That out of the way, 17 millimeter bolt down there, so we're going to go ahead and loosen that. That's what holds the battery in place. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that and slide the battery on out. This is one of the reasons why I like to remove the battery. It gives me a chance to clean out the battery box area, and as you can see there's still a lot of moisture in here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all dried out and cleaned as best I can, and then put my battery on the charger. Okay, we're in the basement here, and this is where I park all my batteries from my toys for the winter, and I hook them up to my tender and swap them probably once a month to make sure they stay nice and charged. This will maintain the battery. It will make sure that it's not bad when I go to install it in the spring. So I don't know if you have a battery tender or not, but I highly recommend one. They work great. They automatically shut off when they don't need to be, when they reach the optimum charge level. Don't have to worry about it, plug it in, forget about it type of thing. So they're really great to have, and obviously I need a bank of them. I'm probably going to look on Amazon and buy a few that I can just leave connected all the time instead of doing this swap every once a month. But this is currently my setup right now. It's not the best, but it works. So I'm going to go outside and finish up the 944. Okay, just got the battery out, put it on the charger. Some final things I like to do before I put the car away for the winter, and that is I like to make sure these doors are not fully closed. I like to make sure they're just on one click. I think that will save the rubber seals all around the door frame here from compressing. Make sure the other side is done. Yep. Here's my final step to winterizing the 944, and that's installing the car cover. And I think these are very important to have. They keep a lot of dust and grit off the car. You'd be surprised how much dust gets on these cars from sitting. I tried it one year and it was like pulling out just a dust ball of crap all over the paint, and I was kind of surprised. So I bought some covers. This one actually came with this car, and I think that contributes to how well the paint looks on this vehicle, even though it has 96,000 miles on it. So this car's all ready for winter, and I'll get it out next spring. Talk to you guys later. Bye.